Hello everyone, welcome to the AI practical series. In this session, we will study about conditional and joint probability. So, this probability theory is used in AI for making decisions under uncertainties. So, let us see what is joint probability. So, joint probability is the probability of two or more events occurring simultaneously. So, suppose if we have two events A and B, then the joint probability is denoted by P, A and B. So both are occurring together. So it represents the probability that both events A and B occur at the same time. So suppose if we have two events A and B and we want to find the joint probability represented by this left hand side. So P A and B is equal to P of A into P of B. So we just need to simply multiply the two probabilities individually and we get the joint probability. Now the example is like tossing two coins. So if we want to find the probability of getting heads in both the cases, so we just need to multiply the probability of getting the head in the first into probability of getting head into the second one. So we just multiply them together. So in this case, we say that the two events are actually independent. So if we are getting head in one, then we may get head in two, does not depend on the first probability on the first coin. So both are independent. Similarly, we can say like throwing a dice. If we have two die, if we throw two dice, then getting any number in one and getting any other number in the second one, they are totally independent. So next we see the conditional probability. Now conditional probability, it is a concern with some events which are depending on each other. They are influencing each other. So conditional probability is the probability of an event occurring given that another event has already occurred. Like in this case, suppose if we have two events A and B, and this what P A, and here we have a vertical line B. So what does this mean? It means probability of A given B. So we want to find the probability of event A given that B has already occurred, and this is how we mathematically represent P of A B equal to P A intersection B. Okay, this is of the in the numerator we have P A intersection B divided by P of B. Now the example here is drawing two cards from a pack of cards. Given the first card, find the probability for the other. So if we have a deck of cards and if we remove or if we draw two cards one after the other and we see the first card, that let us say the first card is an ace, and we are told that what is the probability of getting the second card as king. So it is natural, of course, that the second probability will be influenced by the first one. So this is the conditional probability. So this is the formula. Now let us see the Python code. So first of all, the Python code for the joint probability, it is simple multiplication of the two probability. So first of all, in this case, we define the function. Okay, it will prompt us to get the values, and here we have a while loop running. What this while loop will do, it will actually prompt whatever value we are giving it. It will check whether the value is between 0 or 1, because the value of the probability must be between 0 and 1. If it is more than 1 or less than 0, it will actually give us message invalid input, please enter the valid input. So this part does that. Okay, and then whatever value we are entering, it goes into PA and PB. So it will take two values from us, probability of A and probability of E, and then it just multiplies them, P of A with P of B. Okay, and then we get the formatted result. So we are interested in getting the result in two decimal places, so we have formatted this. Otherwise, if we multiply them, we can get the result 0.99 or maybe like 0.23567. So many digits will come. So we are actually formatting it to 2 digits, and finally it will get the output, this formatted result. Now this is the code for the joint probability. I will share this code in the description section of the video. Next we see the code for the conditional probability. So this is the required code for conditional probability. The very first thing, as we saw in the previous case, we need to define the function. So this is the function. Okay, and it will take the values, and if the input values are between 0 1, okay, it will go forward, but if the value is not between this and beyond z is 1 or less than 0, then it will prompt this message, please enter a valid probability between 0 and 1. Next, when we enter the values, we need to enter two values. The first is probability of b and the second is p intersection b, that is the probability of a and b together. So both the values we have to enter. After entering, we get this is the numerator divided by this denominator, okay, and this value, this thing what we see is, it will check. What it will check, suppose if we make a mistake, like suppose if we enter the two things such that we are getting some probability which is more than 1, so it must give an error. So this of course should be less than 1. Whatever the output we are getting after dividing these two numbers, the two probabilities should be of course less than 1. So it will check this. So if the user enters some inconsistent data, then the result will go beyond 1. So it will give an error that it is inconsistent result, please check the inputs again. And if the inputs are consistent, we get the output in the formatted form, that is it will be, the answer will be in 2 decimal places. So now let us execute the code on Google Colab. I am using Google Colab. We can even use Python ID. So we are into the Google Colab now. We will execute the code. First I will do the joint probability. Just click on code, and I have copied the code. I'll just paste the code here. So this is the required code. This is the code for joint probability. I will share the code in the description section. So this is what we are having. Now let us run this. Okay. Now we are running this now. Okay, so it is asking us enter the probability for event A, of event A. Let us assume that we are tossing a coin, okay, and we want to get the probability of getting a head. So of course it is 0.5. I'll just enter 0.5. Now let us assume we have another coin and we want to get a head. So we will then find the combined probability, the joint probability, sorry. Okay. So it is giving us the joint probability as 0.25, which is 25% times. So this is how we can calculate the joint probability. Now let us see the conditional probability. Now let us go for the second part, that is the conditional probability. Just click on code. I'll just paste the code here. So this is the code for the conditional probability. Now let us I'll just run this code. So it is asking us enter the probability of event B. Now I am to show you that if we enter anything which is more than 1, so suppose if I enter 1.2, so it should give it is giving error, it must be 0 between 0 and 1. So let us enter it as 0.4. Let us say 0.7, sorry. Then probability of A given B, let us take it as 0.4. So as we are getting this answer is probability of A given B is 0.57. So this is how we execute this code. So that's all for this particular session. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and subscribe.